Today is an exciting day, my goodness. Let's get this car out of the garage. And it's dead again. Oh goodness. Yeah, it seems like the cold has had an adverse effect on this battery because, I mean, if I have to boost it every time, then obviously something's wrong. So we'll be looking into that. But I got a few things to try and work on it, and something very exciting, which you could probably tell from the title. I bought a welder. So this is my new welder. It's a MIG/Flux core, and it's Mastercraft. You probably noticed a lot of my tools are Mastercraft, including the new helmet that I got, and my tool chest is also Mastercraft. And my saw as well, goodness. But basically, Mastercraft is the Canadian Tire brand, and it's one of their cheaper store brands. But the reason that I bought this is because it was only 250 bucks. So I think it was a pretty good opportunity to try and get into welding. Obviously, it's not the best thing ever, but it'll definitely be a good start. And then if I actually can get good at it and get into it, then I'll probably have a good time trying out some Lincoln electric stuff. And yeah, obviously, I'm saying that as a bit of a disclaimer because anybody who's familiar with welding knows that obviously having a better welder is better. But this one, it's got some reasonable specs. Hopefully you can see that stuff. And if you have any welding tips, please let me know. I'm gonna have to read through the entire manual on this to figure out how to use it. And I do have a couple issues, including my main plugs for the garage are here and all the way over here. But I ideally want to be welding on this table, which I'm gonna have to probably reinforce. So yeah, my first matter of business here is just to test it out, try my best to make a bead, I guess, on something. I have a little bit of scrap metal, I don't have too much. I mean, we could probably use some of these car parts here. But then I have this dolly here, which I don't really... I don't think I'm going to use it for anything, so I'm going to cut it up and use it as a welding cart. I just need some more metal to add to it in order to make it into a decent welding cart, but that's kind of why that's there. But other than that though, I mean, I'm very excited. This is really cool. You may have noticed my collection of Pennzoil. I have 5 jugs down there. There's another one in my car, and then I have 2 more over here. That's for another video, but trust me, I'm not sponsored by them. Pennzoil, please contact me. My goodness, I'm dying here. I buy so much of your oil. So this kit comes with some basic stuff, but obviously I needed to buy some extras. This stuff is not really for this, but I got some fuses so we can test out the heated seats, and then I got some new bits because mine were totally done. But I got some actual, probably better than what Mastercraft could do, Lincoln Electric gloves, because I really don't like having my hands burnt. And I also got this welding mask. They have a lot of them, but they're all ugly, so I decided just to get the best looking one they had, which is this one, for a reasonable price, of course. So update on the car, it's sitting out here, it's looking pretty good. I like the way that it looks just as is. Some people have commented, I'm hoping the wind isn't too bad, but that the wheels are really bad in terms of the offset, and you would definitely be correct there. I don't know if you can see that, it's upside down, but it's 225 55 R17, so these are way undersized for this car. It's supposed to have 245s. So yeah, don't worry, I'll be getting some proper wheels. Now this is very much not a review of this product. I don't really know what I'm doing. It's also not sponsored. I paid for all this stuff myself. But I have a manual here, which is very important. I'm gonna have to be reading through this. It's really funny though. They give you this face shield, and I kind of thought it would be metal, but it's plastic. It's insultingly thin. I value my eyes more than this, and that's why I spent another $100 on that helmet. This is just not good, Canadian Tire. Like, what the heck? It seems like this plastic thing here goes with that, and then this is a shade that goes with that as well. I don't know though, it doesn't seem right. It just doesn't seem good enough. I guess they had to include it in there for safety purposes, but it also came with a couple of spools of, I'm guessing, line. I don't know what this is quite yet. This apparently is flux core, and then this other one is MIG wire, which is cool. So I'll have to be figuring out exactly what I want to do. I mean, I don't have a tank. I don't have any shielding, so we'll have to figure that out. I don't know if this thing is even capable of that. I hope it is. I think it is. But yeah, either way, it's a good start. It's a good, I think, backup to have, even if I have an actual welder. But again, I gotta read the instructions. I'm no expert. I'm excited though. I'm really excited. Let's stick some metal together just for fun. That's my main goal at the moment. Oh yeah, in terms of safety, I actually have a fire retardant jacket here. It is fireproof. I was told by the electrician that gave it to me that it was, at least. So I'm willing to test that out. You know, I never thought I'd be taking the channel name so literally. Oh yeah, I'm not the only one who sees that. So here's a glimpse at the first thing I ever welded. This was not done by this welder, it was done by one from Princess Auto, so... and also using a bunch of different types of welding, including stick, which is why there's so many particles there. But this down here was gas shielded MIG, and yeah, obviously I'm not great. But obviously, again, this was the first time I did it, so you can't expect me to be great right out of the gate. So this feels really weird. But yeah, got the welding helmet working, and that gets me excited because that's the first step. Obviously I need to be able to see, or in this case be able to make sure that I can see in the future. Pretty simple though, thankfully, pretty simple. Just need to make sure that I store it correctly, and yeah, I got it set up so that this light right here actually triggers it, so it's pretty darn sensitive, which is a good thing. I don't want to go blind. That is one of my main concerns. Anyway, up next, the welder itself. Oh yeah, what I said before about expecting the welding helmet to be metal, that was incredibly dumb, because having a big piece of metal on your face when you're welding doesn't seem like a good idea. It makes sense that it's plastic, but still, this thing is very, very thin. This is better, but it's not amazing. It's still good though. I like the design of it. It's kind of nice. It's too bad that it's not in metric. Who the heck understands inches? So I'm gonna set up the welder for Flux welding. No particular reason, not because of my name or anything. Literally just because there's way more Flux wire than there is MIG wire, and I think Flux is probably a better place to start. It's gonna be messy, but that's fine. It's a good way to hopefully get into this. I need to learn, obviously, how to spool the thing properly. I gotta make sure that I'm abiding by the very basic rules of it, and hopefully not popping any fuses in my basement on the electrical panel, because this thing probably is going to be more than the 15 amp fuse that's in there, which is unfortunate, so we'll see if that actually lasts. Hopefully it does. My goodness, I'm not going to be going too crazy. Literally just going to try and stick that thing back together again after I cut it in half with the grinder. Yeah, don't worry, the jankiness of this setup is not lost on me. But it is going to be on the ground for this, kind of in the middle of nowhere in my garage. Yes, I will move that gas tank, but the reason is because that plug there is the best one, and so yeah, either that or we're coming off of the snowblower, which is unideal. Either way, I have a bit of a win. I managed to get the wire all the way through. So it's just a matter of, oh, that's not going to want to focus, but it's just a matter of putting the tip back on, getting the ground set up, and then boom, we're going to be flux core welding. I'm scared. All right, well, I'm all ready to go. I got my heat-proof coat on. I'm hoping that it actually works. Thankfully, it does go down to here, so my gloves and this coat should cover me up for the most part, except for my sweater, obviously, but I don't expect to have sparks up there. I got the door open so I can see what's going on, and my welding setup is mildly sketchy, but I'm gonna attempt to just quickly put some weld on that little thing that I showed you before. It's just I actually don't know what it is. It's super thick though. The idea is that I'm not going to penetrate it, at least not too quickly, but let's give it a shot. This is gonna be fun. So that is what I did. I suspect that I'm not getting good, like a good connection at all to the ground, and that's why it's jumping so much. So I'm gonna grind this clean, at least the best that I can do in just a couple of minutes here, and then I'm gonna try it again and hope for the best. It worked a lot better the first time I did it, I'll tell you that. Hey, it's Andrew from the future here. I just wanted to let you know that throughout the rest of this video, I am going to be showing off some techniques that are incredibly incorrect, just based on some quick research. Basically, I brought the welder home and then I kind of just jumped into it. I should have taken a bit more time to research because I was not using the right tip, which you'll see very obviously in the video. You're not supposed to use that cover, it's just supposed to be the bare tip. That's my mistake. Another thing is that I was not using the right technique in terms of movement. You're supposed to be dragging when using a flux-like thing like this, so that means that I'm supposed to be using the gun and pulling backwards along whatever I'm supposed to be welding, which I was not doing. I was pushing into it. Again, improper technique, something that I can learn from in the future. And then another thing with flux welding is that it's super dirty and the fumes from it are not good for you. You're supposed to do it in an outdoor application. My garage is quite holy. It's not sealed at all, so the air definitely flows through it. And I will say that my door was open, but I should be a bit more careful about that. So just some quick tips. Back to the video. My fancy Mastercraft grinder, because literally everything I have is blue and also Mastercraft, has been able to do this to this piece. I don't know if it was painted or not before, but it is now currently shiny and hopefully a lot more, well, conductive. That's the hope. I'm gonna set you guys back up on my tripod here and yeah, see if I can't just weld that. Okay, so that's what I did this time. Basically, I just made it look like the surface of Mars, so I'm doing something wrong. Obviously, it can't get through this metal. I wouldn't anticipate that, but I was hoping to at least be able to, like, lay something more than just that on there. I got some fiddling to do. There aren't too many settings on the thing. It's basically just wire speed, and then, like, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, gonna have to figure this one out. So here is what that looks like. Let me tell you, it mildly resembles a teenager's face in high school, or the surface of Mars, whatever you're more comfortable with. I'm gonna grind it just for fun, as I put this stuff away for now, and see what the heck that actually looks like underneath. So there's the finished product. The slit that I cut was approximately here, and now it's still really bad. The grinder's making me look better, but you can still see the spots where I tried and failed some more. I'm not great at this, obviously, but I am still learning. This is day number 1, hour number 1 of attempting to weld, and yeah, I did a bit better than I thought, although there's no chance that this would actually stick. So my next steps are pretty simple. Basically, I'm gonna try to, well, figure out how to use that, or this I should say. It's just over here. I'm hoping that I can weld myself some things, including that cart, but obviously first I need to know what I'm doing, and yeah, I need to do a lot more research on YouTube and various other places to see how I can use this welder appropriately. Obviously flux core is not ideal, so I'm going to try and learn how to MIG, and then we'll see about getting a tank, and then all that fun stuff. And I'm hoping at the end of all this that I can make myself some exhaust out of pre-bent pieces and that kind of thing. We'll see though, we'll see. I need to get better, a lot better before doing that. But the end goal, again, is to be able to fabricate, which is something I've always wanted to learn, and thank goodness today is the day that that adventure starts. As you can imagine, this was quite an expensive day as well, so thank you to those who have chosen to support this channel via the join button and donations on streams and just watching my videos. It's actually been a super slow month this February, but I'm looking to turn it around in March, which is when you're hopefully seeing this, if I time it right. I don't know what I'm doing anymore, but yeah, thank you guys. It's gotten a lot colder. It was quite nice earlier today, and now it's you can see my breath. I don't vape, I swear. This is literally just how it is. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna back the car back in the garage, and I'll see you again next time.